Welcome. You're here to rest, to let the weight of your day fall away, and step into something much older. The Silk Road was not just a trade route, it was a thread across the world. And along this thread traveled not only silk and spice, but secrets. Tonight, we trace those whispers through windswept dunes, cold mountain passes, candlelit caves, and scrolls that no one can read anymore. You don't need to move, just listen. We begin with a life lived in silence. Beneath the weight of a message, imagine yourself in Central Asia. The sun is rising over the edge of a barren ridge. The air is sharp. The sand beneath your feet is already warming. You are not a merchant, not a soldier. You are something quieter, a messenger. Your caravan is long gone. Your job is to deliver a message to a town 2 days' ride ahead. You do not carry paper. Instead, inside your sleeve is a strip of knotted silk, each knot a symbol, each twist a word. You were taught the code by repetition, not writing, not diagrams, just rhythm. And recall, the route ahead is not marked. It shifts with the season. Sometimes the wind covers tracks in minutes. You ride alone. Your horse is tired before you mount. Your breath smells like boiled grain. Your clothes still carry the scent of the last fire. There's no one to talk to, only the rhythm of your horse's hooves and the soft clink of the bone clasp on your water pouch. When you reach a checkpoint, there is no sign, only a tree that bends west. You leave 3 stones beside it. Someone will understand. You eat with your fingers. You sleep near your animal. You rise when the wind shifts. The message you carry must never be spoken aloud. If someone captures you, it cannot be found. If you forget the knots, the journey ends. And so, you repeat it in your mind, again and again. A verse of silk. A poem of survival. The road is long, and always someone is watching. Now, step farther back, to a time when the road was new. The Han Emperor has a question. What lies beyond the mountains? He sends a man, Zheng Qian, not to trade, but to find allies and to observe. Zheng Qian sets out. His party is small, his purpose unknown to many. He carries gifts, silk, letters, words that hold political weight. But before he reaches his goal, he is captured. The Zhongnu hold him. Years pass. He marries, has a son, but he watches, he listens. Eventually, he escapes, quietly, and he does not abandon his mission. Zheng Qian reaches places no one from his court has seen. He learns that phrases are never said directly, that gifts mean more than words. He studies symbols, customs, coded language. He brings all of it home. And when he returns, he delivers not just intelligence, but a different way of understanding the world, not through conquest, but through subtle signs. A gesture, a tone, a knot in silk. The emperor listens, and the Silk Road opens wider. Now, let's enter a different kind of silence. A silence made of paper. In 1900, near Dunhuang, a Taoist monk discovered a sealed cave inside bundles of scrolls, writings in dozens of scripts, Sanskrit, Sogdian, Tibetan, Yugur, and some not yet identified. Among them, narrow ribbons of silk, knotted at intervals, small pouches with colored threads, simple at first glance, but purposeful, deliberate. Some think they are religious, others say they are merchant codes. Like passwords, passed hand to hand, no key was found. Historians debate, were these tied scripts meant to hide meaning from officials? Were there reminders, lists? The truth rests quietly in museum drawers, in silk too fragile to touch. Others point to ledgers found along the route. In them, numbers without labels, symbols repeated but never explained. Were they shorthand, cipher, or just marks of memory for someone who never returned? These mysteries persist, not loudly, but softly, like wind over sand. The past does not always explain itself. Sometimes it just waits. Now we drift into marble rooms and carved courtyards, two places where ink flowed not for urgency, but for form. In the courts of Samarkand, Chang'an, Baghdad, communication became art. Not all secrets were about war, some were about silk shipments, interest rates, alliances born not of family but of shared risk. The elite used metaphors, they embedded messages in verse. A poem about water might mean delay, a gift of tea might mean payment, and those who understood benefited. Account ledgers were masked in verse. Carpet symbols aligned with warehouse entries. A merchant's turban color might shift with his cargo. You couldn't ask. You had to know. This was not deception. It was refinement. The more subtle the language, the more powerful the speaker. Royal scribes learned to write with silence between the lines, not blank space but gaps filled by the reader. In Baghdad, a phrase like pearls for the sand could mean tribute or something more delicate. In Chang'an, an embroidered phoenix could suggest a shipment ready for sale. Nothing stated, everything understood. This was communication, not to conceal, but to respect hierarchy, to affirm knowledge, to whisper instead of shout. Tonight, we followed threads, not the kind you wear, but the kind that hold silence. We traced knots, we passed scrolls, we lingered in caves where voices no longer echo. The Silk Road was never just about goods, it was about trust, about memory, about signs and meanings shared in the quiet. Let those signs fade now, let the codes rest, let the knots loosen, let your thoughts drift, like caravans disappearing into the horizon. Good night.